In this brief pause before we begin, could I please invite you to all check that your phones are on silent or switched off? Thank you. Please be seated. Welcome. Welcome everyone, both to those here in Cirencester Baptist Church and to all those who are joining us from afar, including family and friends in the Philippines and Australia. Although we can't see you physically, we know that you are with us, and your presence is appreciated so very much. We have all come together today for Megan, who brought love, light, and colour into this world, and immense joy to those who were lucky enough to share their lives with her. We have joined today to both celebrate her life, to say a loving farewell, and to look after one another at this difficult time. My name is Marie, and I am a funeral celebrant. I have been helping Megan's family with shaping our gathering today, and I would like to thank them so very much for all the memories that they have shared. Our gathering today is going to have several parts. This first part will be about remembering Megan, her life, her influence, and all the memories that live on. And for this, we have woven together music, memories, photos, and readings, all chosen for their connection with Megan and to give shape and voice to our feelings. After this part of the gathering, a smaller family group will then accompany Megan to her resting place at Chesterton Cemetery, while the rest of you are invited to please stay here to carry on sharing your own memories, and we'll come back afterwards to rejoin the gathering, and then for everyone to share food and drink together. Please make sure that you are comfortable in your time here. If you need to move at any point to be comfortable, please do that. If you need to pop out for any reason and come back in, that's absolutely fine. But before we begin, let's just take a moment to close our eyes and allow your breath to come peacefully and comfortably as you bring your attention here to this place, to this gathering, so that we can each be fully present to this moment. Thank you. There are no easy words of comfort to offer today. Megan's death, so unexpected and at such a young age, is shocking. It's heartbreaking for everyone who knew and loved her. There is a sense of disbelief, perhaps of unreality. We feel grief for all the years that we thought we would have. We may feel a sense of injustice, that this just isn't fair, it just isn't right. And so we bring all those feelings together to this gentle space as well. And to Ramona and David and James, Megan's mother, father, and brother, our hearts go out to you especially at this unfathomable loss. Each one of you here today has had your own connection with Megan, and each will be different. But what we all have in common today is that in one way or another, her life has touched on ours. For Megan was a beloved daughter, sister, niece, granddaughter, cousin, and a friend. And during our time today, we're going to hear from people who knew her in different ways. And it may even be that today you will learn something more about her, maybe things you didn't know. And in weaving them all together, we create something bright and beautiful by which our own memories of her are enriched. Today is for us to pause, to remember her life, to say thank you for all that she brought to your lives. We are so very grateful for the generosity of the Cirencester Baptist Church in offering us the use of this wonderful space and supporting us in so many ways as we have brought this gathering together. Stephen, our thanks. And to the staff and students of Stroud High School who have helped in many, many more ways. And so many of you here today for this farewell, including all those who are going to play instruments and sing, we thank you. Truly, so many people have been involved in bringing together this gathering today for Megan. Megan's was an open-hearted spirituality. It found its expression in her innate creativity, her love of music, her sense of fun, and her way of caring for others. And so today we will honor that sense of spirit, of the sacred. And a flame lit with intent is sacred the world over. And so I am going to begin by lighting a candle to symbolize our love for Megan, our memories of her, and our sense of the sacred and the holy, however we may each experience it. And so now I would like to invite Mark McShane, the head teacher of Stroud High School, who is going to share with us the first reading.
We cannot judge a biography by its length, nor by the number of pages in it. We must judge it by the richness of its contents. Sometimes those unfinished are among the most poignant. We cannot judge a song by its duration, nor by the number of its notes. We must judge it by the way it touches and lifts our souls. Sometimes those unfinished are among the most beautiful. And when something has enriched your life, and when its melody lingers on in your hearts, is it unfinished or is it endless?
Thank you. Is it unfinished or is it endless? Poetry often has a way of putting into words something that we may be finding it difficult to express. And so now we have a second poem, and I would like to invite Sarah Tapscott, head of sixth form at Stroud High School, to share with us a beautiful poem by Lord Byron that perhaps brings to mind some of the different ways in which we may remember Megan.
She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to the tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. One ray the more, one shade the less, had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens o'er her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place. And on that cheek and o'er her brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow, but tell of days in goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent.
Thank you for sharing those beautiful words. At times of sadness and of distress, it is natural to want to come together, to share the way we are feeling. And sometimes there may also be some comfort to be found in shared music and song. And so I'd like to invite you all now to join in singing the song, You Raise Me Up, with its message of hope and love. And Mr. Poole is going to accompany us as we sing, and some of the students from the high school will lead us in the singing. You will find the words in your orders of service, and so that you are able to sing with your best voice, I know it's not easy with masks on, I do invite you to please stand if you are able. Thank you. Please be seated. As we walk through the journey of our lives, we each carry our story with us. And when we know that someone is no longer going to be with us physically in our lives, we honor them by remembering them and by thinking about all the ways in which their influence will live on. It can help us to start to find a place for those memories to rest, to set things in context. So during this part of the gathering, we're now going to hear from some people who knew different facets of Megan's life, starting with memories on behalf of Megan's family, shared by her uncle, Jonathan Horn.
Megan Isabel Horn was born on Monday, the 15th of March 2004, into a warm and loving family of parents Ramona and Dave and elder brother James. The name Megan means strong and capable, a pearl. It also means child of light, and it was clear from birth that the name Megan was a perfect fit. Ramunda, Miriam and Ed doted on Megan as grandparents, and she always brought so much delight to the family with her kind, calm, and much-loved personality. Everyone basked in the time spent with James and Megan, in the little routines of the young Horn family. Ramona and Dave were always besotted by Megan and James, who are the centre of their world, and who they worked so hard for to build the best lives possible. It's cliché, but Megan was truly beautiful, both inside and out. You could feel her energy when she was near. Megan, our hearts are broken as we recall the happy times we shared with you. Our world has stood still since the 18th of December, but in writing this and gathering our thoughts, we think of the beautiful memories that you've left for us to treasure. You will always be part of our lives. You have touched our lives and all of those here today. Megan was 17, bubbly, outgoing, vivacious, funny, silly at times, and simply like no other. She wanted to try many new things and had the courage to branch out. Megan achieved so much, and thanks to her personality, family and friends, led a very rich life. Dave, Ramona and James are incredibly proud of her. Megan attended nursery in Cirencester and then moved on to Powell School for her primary years. The kind and engaging teachers both at nursery and school were very encouraging to Megan, and she made excellent progress and enjoyed the time spent playing with her friends. From an early age, especially encouraged by her mum Ramona, Megan proved to be a capable and conscientious pupil who worked hard at school and excelled at many things. Towards the end of primary school, and like James before her, she passed the 11 plus and won a place at Stroud High School. It's safe to say that she has thoroughly enjoyed her time at Stroud and developed many skills. On behalf of her family, I would like to give big thanks to all the teachers and friends at Stroud who played such a key part in Megan's happiness throughout her time at the school. Megan's talents were not just academic. She had many skills but absolutely loved music, whether it be listening, singing, playing, composing. She was accomplished on both the piano and violin and to grade 8, and she also was very happy to pick up her guitar and sing, as well as being very partial to the odd TikTok. Her musical tastes were wide and eclectic, from Peter Jean Hernandez, you may know him as Bruno Mars, to classical, Bach, Chopin and others. Indeed, when thinking about the future, Megan was undecided whether to pursue further study in music or to focus on her other great passion, the stars and astrophysics. Her bedroom at home is a collection of photographs of her friends, travels with family, along with doodles of different things that she found interesting. She also had a great organisational skills and was always ready on the family WhatsApp to send reminders of any jobs that they needed doing, particularly to ensure that Dave, her dad, kept on track with DIY such as the bathroom. Megan participated in the Duke of Edinburgh Awards and requiring expeditions to Exmoor and Dartmoor and community volunteering at Helen and Douglas House to eventually achieve gold. As with everything, Megan did all of this in a spirit of fun and adventure, which entertained and gave confidence to her great friends that she had around her. These were just some of the many opportunities provided and encouraged by her family, her excellent teachers, and her friends. Megan enjoyed being part of a large, extended family. She particularly loved loved traveling to see Ramona's family in the Philippines, and on Dave's side of the family in many areas of the UK and as far as Australia. Megan enjoyed family ski trips to Europe, as well as skiing with friends on a school trip to Austria. Megan and Ramona made great traveling companions with many trips, including to Spain, where they both learned to scuba dive, Italy, Ireland, Hong Kong, Denmark, and Dubai. Everything Megan did, she did well, and her many talents were brought to fruition through her industrious and determined nature. Above all, she demonstrated the importance of hard work and application. Megan also knew the value of friendship from an early age. With naturally engaging personality, she showed kindness and thoughtfulness in many ways, large and small. Her optimism and sense of fun was truly infectious. As she entered her teenage years, Megan enjoyed many of the same interests of others at the same age, spending time with friends and family, socializing, music, her Saturday job at Hall's Bakery. Many good and close friendships were made and cemented, and it's with this group of friends, such as Amy, Anya, Caitlin, Laura, Lucy, and Trinity, that Megan started to branch out with visits to London, Camden Market being a favourite spot, and also to music festivals. A bacon and egg sandwich was always available from Louise, as she generously supervised the girls on their trips, and the kindness and support that these friends have provided is much appreciated by the family. Over recent days, talking to family, friends, and teachers, the same things have been spoken about Megan time and time again. Talented, well thought of, very well liked, proud of her, a lovely girl. At school, she enjoyed mentoring some pupils, which she thoroughly enjoyed, and she loved helping people learn new things and master them. She was a great teacher. Megan, there are so many happy memories, travelling, preparing your favourite meals and hearing you laugh, play music or sing. You have touched our lives in many joyful ways, too numerous to count. Everyone loved you. I could stand here and wax lyrical about how smart she was, how beautiful she was, how spirited she was, how funny and how quirky. All of these things are true and have been said many times today and in the last few weeks. The real testament to Megan cannot be expressed by me because it's been expressed by everybody here today. These words sum up Megan very well. Love is always patient and kind. It is never jealous. Love is never boastful or conceited. It is never rude or selfish. It does not take offense and is not resentful. Love takes no pleasure in other people's sins, but delights in the truth. It is always ready to excuse, to trust, to hope. By their works you shall know them. By her works you would know Megan to be a lovely, remarkable and talented girl and the light of our lives. On behalf of our family and with a collective broken heart, we wish to say as personally as possible 2 words. Thank you. Thank you for the outpouring of love for Megan and the support you've shown for us in this unexpected path.
Thank you, Jonathan, for sharing those memories. Very bravely spoken. And now we're going to hear some more memories from some of Megan's friends. And so Anya, Caitlin, and Trinity, would you like to come forward and share with us your memories? You can all come up together if you like.
Laura and I met Megan in year 7, and we soon became close friends. Although she was slightly chaotic, Megan instantly became someone we could rely on, and that hasn't changed over the years. When I met Megan, we bonded over the fact that we both played the violin, and since then, Megan has always been a part of the musical side of my life. Everything we did in music, we did together. From joining orchestra and string groups and doing concerts together to taking music GCSE together. She was an amazing musician, and she was undoubtedly the most confident player I know. Whereas I often doubted my musical skill, Megan always believed that both her and I were the best, even when we definitely weren't. In the last carol concert, Megan was utterly convinced that it was the both of us carrying the whole orchestra and that we were the best there, when most of the time, neither of us had any clue what we were doing because we were too busy distracting each other and laughing at any small mistake either one of us made. I hope to carry Megan's confidence with me in everything I do. She was not only confident in herself and everything she did, but she also had confidence and believed in all those around her. More recently, Megan and I impulsively decided to start a band. Megan was always having impulsive, impractical ideas and had the amazing gift of convincing anyone to join in on her mad exploits. She was so happy and enigmatic that it was impossible to say no to her, so I was instantly on board. However, Megan had the inability to carry through with her plans as she was often distracted by her next spontaneous idea. We never started busking, despite her desperate need for money to support the constant replacing of her phone screen, or both, but being able to play with her and hear her sing, she was always singing, made memories I'll never forget. I'm also glad I could be involved with her love for physics. Megan loved everything to do with space, and it does break my heart that we never got to do this topic together. She would often complain to me that what she really wanted to do was astronomy, but without any of the physics. Despite saying this, she really did enjoy physics, and I'm glad I got to share so much of what she loved with her. When she loved what she was doing, she instantly filled those around her with happiness. Megan was beautiful, caring, spontaneous, and so funny without even trying. And although we will all never stop missing her, we will also never stop admiring her and being inspired by the life she led and the values she held. The most recent time we went out together, she kept telling me how happy she was and how grateful she was for everyone and everything in her life. And that really does just sum up Megan. She has done so much for me over the years I've known her, and she has always meant the world to me. She was absolutely always there for me and was the most loyal person I know, and an amazing friend above all. She was so full of life and happiness that she did whatever she wanted. Once an idea was in her head, no one could stop her. Nothing feels the same now she's not here, but I will remember her through her drive to do anything and everything she wanted, through her loyalty and her confidence. I remember her through her optimism and her smile, her constant singing of only 1 or 2 lines of a song over and over again until it was in everyone's head, her love for the stars and her love for those around her, love which she never failed to show us.
Megan and I have been getting the bus together since year 7, so she has been a close friend of mine for years. Since we lived so close together, it was so easy for us to meet. And I have so many memories of us going for walks or going into town together and spending a stupid amount of time in Poundland. When we were 14, we decided we needed money, so we got our first jobs together, being the world's worst waitresses in a cafe. How we weren't fired, I'll never know. Despite us being close, Megan still never failed to surprise me. I remember coming into school one day and finding Megan had impulsively cut herself a fringe the night before, which she then spent the next few years growing out. She was so full of energy and enthusiasm that if she wanted to do something, she just did it, which didn't massively work out for her in that case, but in general meant she made so many amazing memories and didn't have any what-ifs. Megan didn't let a single opportunity pass her by. She lived her life to the fullest, which I'm not sure many people can say, so I think that's something amazing. While Megan was full of surprises, there are a few things about her that always stayed the same. As Trin mentioned, her phone was always broken in some way, and you always knew that wherever she was and whatever she was doing, Megan always had her trusty eyelash curlers somewhere on her. She would always be on her notes app on her phone, writing a to-do list which would have a million tasks on it, but 90% of them would be basic things like clean teeth or brush hair. And no matter what, Megan would always be smiling. She had a smile that could light up a room. It was impossible to ever be in a bad mood around Megan, because she was always so happy, full of life and laughter, and she wanted everyone around her to be happy as well. She took every opportunity to show how much she cared about and appreciated the people in her life, celebrating their successes and helping them through the harder times. Megan was a fiercely loyal friend. I don't think any of us could say that we have a favourite memory of Megan, because there was something about her that made every moment so precious and memorable. Even though she is no longer with us, I know that we will forever be in awe of how full of life she was, which is probably why our lives will never feel the same, as they will feel emptier without her. But I know how Megan will want us to remember her, by laughing, like she always was, at the funny memories we have of her, and by feeling grateful for the time that we shared.
In life, we take so much for granted. Thinking we have forever, we forget to tell the ones we love how much they really mean to us. Then suddenly they're gone, and we realize that there is so much left in our hearts to say. There are not enough words to describe how talented, gifted, and beautiful Megan was, but I'm going to try my best. I've known Megan since we were 3 years old, and I can confidently say that having her in my life for the past 14 years has made me a better person. She was the human embodiment of sunshine, and no matter how bad I was feeling on a particular day, she could never fail to make me laugh. Her happy disposition and positive outlook on life were infectious. Whenever she was smiling, you couldn't help but smile too, and she was always smiling. Meg is the hardest person to put into words, but if she was always one thing, she was kind. No matter what I was going through, she could always find a silver lining, and I know this was not unique to me. She would always help whoever she could. Meg was one of my favourite people in the world, and there was so much that I loved about her. I loved going to rainbows with her when we were little. I loved how obsessed she was with dolphins in year 4. I loved that every single day at primary school her hair was in the most perfect French plaits. I loved how talented she was at the violin and piano. I loved the passion she had for music. I loved that we used to buy baguettes and walk around town eating them. I loved that she had all of my secrets and I have hers. I loved the friendship we had. I loved knowing her. To me, and I'm sure many others here today, Meg has been an inspiration in the love she shared and the lives she touched. I was so fortunate to have her in my life, and I wouldn't trade those moments for the world. Goodbye, my dear friend. I'll spend the rest of my life loving you and missing you.
I first met Megan in Year 10 biology thanks to Mr. Ledley's seating plan, and I have never been more grateful. Megan and I had never spoken before, but by the end of the lesson, I was immediately looking forward to the next one. I was instantly comfortable around her. She was always so joyful and made every moment memorable, and soon biology was my favorite lesson to go to. Our friendship continued to grow outside of school, resulting in us spending the majority of Year 10 summer together. I don't know how many trips I made to Cirencester or how many times we sat in the same park, but even with nothing to do, we always managed to have something to talk about and something to laugh about, making that one of the happiest summers I can remember. I've been so lucky to watch her grow into the positive and beautiful person she became, whilst being one of the highlights of my day for 3.5 years. She was a rock and a friend to so many, and I can't imagine these past years without her. I have no favourite memory of Megan, but if I had to pick, I truly treasure the days we spent at the lakes. Freezing cold and eating cookies after only 10 minutes of swimming, we were still having the best time of our lives. I've been so blessed to have her as my friend for so long. She has truly helped me become the person I am today, and I will love and miss her forever.
Megan has been my best friend for 4 years. We first met in Year 10, and I think we instantly knew we were going to be best friends. I remember being in a particularly boring lesson, and she just looked at me with a smile, handed me an earphone, and showed me this beautiful piano piece she'd played that her piano teacher managed to put a techno beat to, and we just danced to it and laughed the whole lesson. I think our teachers would say this became a common theme of ours, having a bit too much fun. But that was Megan, finding joy in things and sharing it. A good example of this was on our field trip together. It was a freezing Welsh night, and everyone was tired from walking miles and miles, and then it started hailing of all things. While everyone desperately hid, Megan pulled me outside and just started dancing in circles, doing jumps and turns with this huge grin on her face. I always think back to moments like these, about how she didn't know it, but she changed the way I thought about things, about how things don't always have to make you sad or fed up, that we can always just dance in the rain. I'm so grateful that I got to know her for the time I did. I like to think we sort of got to see each other grow up, from these reckless Year 10s who messed about to Year 13s thinking about our futures. Although, even when we were in sixth form, we still managed to spend a good few frees running through the school, singing at the top of our lungs. Ever since I knew Megan, she had been kind, but as we grew, her kindness and compassion shone even more. In fact, no series of words can describe the care that she gave to her friends. Whenever I went to her with problems, she never tried to rationalize with me. She just somehow said exactly what I needed to hear. I wish I had told her more how much this meant to me. But most importantly, Megan made me laugh like no one else. Whenever we were together, I always felt in my heart like we were just those carefree Year 10s again, saying more and more things to make each other laugh. One of my favourite fun memories with her was helping out at an open evening. Everyone else who signed up for biology was inside doing lab work and talking about science, but we decided we were going to be ambassadors. We stood at the door in our oversized lab coats and huge goggles and spent the entire time adding to and perfecting the verses of our Welcome to Science song we had made up, and very liberally handing out stickers to everyone and everything we saw. After times like these, you see that Megan was the kind of person that gave you belly-aching laughter. After writing this, I realised it can't just be me who Megan has changed or affected. I know every person in here has a story or a memory of her because she has made a mark on so many lives. And I like to think that she's left a little bit of her in all of the people she loved. A bit of her joy, a bit of her laughter, a bit of her light. And I just know that no matter what happens, my best friend will always be with me, telling me to dance in the rain.
There aren't enough words to explain how people like Megan can change the entire course of your life. In Year 8, I sat next to a quiet but kind girl whose enormous capacity for laughter and joy shone through as we continued through school together. I noticed this quietness, as we grew closer, was a facade covering the more chaotic and genuine side of her we all knew and loved. Through hours of FaceTime calls and swimming in lakes during summers, we became instantly inseparable, a bond we knew would last us a lifetime. I remember the start of Year 12. Instead of talking to new people at parties, we would lie on the grass outside and stare at the stars. She would always tell me how incredible they were, a passion she continued to share with me in the years to come. I loved the way her mind worked. She had this incredible perspective on the universe, and we spent many evenings together stargazing. I remember the summers we spent in weeks in each other's company, dancing at festivals, cycling around cities, and camping together. D.A.V. was a tiring but amazing experience we shared, and we were both so shocked to hear we passed the expedition, considering when we cooked breakfast one morning at 4 a.m., Trin told us to move away from the stove, and Megan accidentally kicked it, causing the grass around our tents to burst into flames. Her clumsiness and contagious laughter that followed meant we never spent a dull moment in each other's company. We went to a festival last year, and dancing to McFly and Razorlight, she said to me, "Caitlin, my life is complete, this feels like a dream," and continued to smile and wave at the band she adored so dearly. She had this incredible optimism that she carried with her through life, and I consider myself so lucky to have been a part of it and to call her a best friend. Megan was my walking buddy as well, and we walked everywhere, mainly because we were too broke to get a taxi home. I remember some of the happiest times walking home with her, sitting on our little bench halfway at home, looking at Stroud, wheezing as we stumbled in mud on the common. Because of this incredible girl, I laughed a little harder, cried a little less, and smiled a lot more. She taught me how to love myself and to make laughter out of any situation. To finish, I'd like to read out some words her friend Lauren has prepared, but due to COVID, sadly cannot be here. I think it reflects how we all feel about her. You were like a bolt of lightning. You shone so bright with your infectious smile and talent that made everyone in awe of you. You lit up our lives and made us happier. You always knew the right thing to say. You always knew how to make us feel better. You were so warm, so kind, and so loving, and you loved your family and friends so much. Even though I can't be here to say goodbye to you properly, I miss you immensely. I love you so much, and I appreciate everything you did for me. So many of us owe so much to you for your unwavering support and unconditional love. So I just want to say thank you for everything, Meg. Thank you for being you.
Thank you, all of you, for sharing that remarkable collection of memories. And I'm only sorry that I didn't have all of your names, but thank you all for sharing those thoughts. Having heard so many memories, no doubt you're each reminded of your own. And so we're going to have some time now to see some photos from Megan's life. And during this time, we're going to hear 2 songs sung by a voice ensemble from Stroud High School and accompanied by Mr. Poole. So if they would all like to be where they need to be for the singing, please, and then we'll start the photos. Thank you. Thank you all so much. That was truly beautiful. At the beginning of our gathering, I lit a candle, symbolizing our shared memories of Megan and perhaps our sense of something greater. As I read our next reading, a beautiful piece from the Bible, from the book of Proverbs, I invite each of you now to take the candle that you have been given, and if you twist the bottom of it, to light the flame. And as I read these words, perhaps this flame that you each hold can be a symbol of your love and your memories of Megan, as you let these words wash over you. Who shall find a valiant woman? Who shall find a woman of strength? A pearl of great price is she. All who are with her have confidence in her and benefit from her experience. She initiates good, not evil, for every day of her life. She does not neglect her tasks. She willingly works. Broad-minded, her understanding of life is a source of nurture for her. She considers her options, then makes her move, investing the experience she already has. She works diligently, taking pride in her inner resources and strength. When her gifts are encouraged and their value affirmed, she will work wholeheartedly. She opens the door to the needy. She is generous with the poor, yet she does not neglect her family's needs or her own priorities. She is known for her dignity and her strength, and she laughs at the days to come. She often speaks with wisdom, and she teaches in a kindly way. Those who are close to her praise her. Charm is superficial, beauty fades. But the woman who is wise is the one to be praised. May all value who she is, and may all applaud her integrity. The word of the Lord. And so as we keep our candles lit, I'm going to say some words now of farewell on behalf of all of us to Megan. Megan, you lit up so many lives, and your influence will live on in everyone who knew you. We thank you for all that you gave, for your love and friendship, for your kindness, for the times we laughed, for the times we spent together. Your memory will live on in all those whom you loved and who loved you. But now, and all too soon, we have come to a parting of the ways. Megan, into the freedom of wind and of sunshine, we let you go. Into the dance of the stars and the planets, we let you go. Into the wind's breath and the hands of the star maker, we let you go. Go laughing, go dancing, go singing. For the ripples of your life and love will continue to spread in this world. For we love you, we miss you, and we will never forget you. And now, with sadness in our hearts, and yet such gladness for having known you, we will let you go. But know this, our love goes always with you. I'd now like to share some words by the poet John O'Donoghue. Though we need to weep your loss, you dwell in that safe place in our hearts where no storm or night or pain can reach you. Though your days here were brief, your spirit was alive and awake and complete. So let us not look for you only in memory, where we would grow lonely without you. You would want us to find you in presence, beside us when beauty brightens, when kindness glows, and music echoes eternal tones. Megan, may you continue to inspire us to enter each day with a generous heart, to serve the call of courage and of love. And so with these words by John O'Donoghue, we are bringing this part of our gathering today to a close. In a moment, we will take Megan onwards to her resting place for a private burial service. And as I mentioned earlier, everybody else, please, you are welcome to stay here. Enjoy the music. It's a playlist of some of Megan's favourites, and to share your own memories. And you will no doubt have noticed that within your order of service, you have both a little keepsake card and also a memory card. And if you haven't done it already, perhaps while we are taking Megan onwards, you might take a moment to write some memories and thoughts of your time with Megan on this. And these will all be collected at the table at the foyer for the family to keep and to treasure in times to come. And while your presence here is a gift in itself, if you would like to make a donation to charity in Megan's memory, then it will be for the Helen and Douglas House, the hospice that she volunteered for, a children's hospice that helps terminally ill babies and children and young people to live their short lives to the full. And you will see a donations box towards the back of this hall. On behalf of Megan's family, I would like to pass on their very sincere thanks to the teachers and students of Stroud High School, to all the family and friends who have travelled to join us, and those who have been with us online to celebrate Megan's life. Your love and support has touched them more than they can say, and they will look forward to seeing those of you who are here when they come back in a short while. And so, as we prepare then to take Megan onwards to the beautiful sound of Pachelbel's cannon, I will invite you, when the moment comes, to raise your candles, and let's make a beautiful candlelit guard of honour to send Megan on her way, on her final journey. Thank you.
falling on my head. And just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling